Hello everyone, as I said at the end of last video, I'm going to be working on this tall beech fusion project. So here it is in the raw, as it were. Oh, let's give it a quick turn on the turntable. As you can see, it's got a long way to go before we get proper fusion, particularly this side. So yeah, it's got a long way to go yet. So I'm plumping for this as my front. The way the trees are at the moment, I have nice taper, or I will have nice taper from the base. But then as it comes up the tree, we start to get less taper, and if I was just to wire these trees all together at the top, what I would end up with is basically Nelson's column, or a facsimile of tall, and the same width from about this point to the top, which is no good. So my plan is to start cutting some of these trunks back in succession at different heights, possibly up through the trunk, so that I can wire all the trees in, and it will progressively become narrower. So I've already started removing a bunch of the leaves so that I can see what's going on, and I'm going to take out some of these bits that are growing into the centre. I deliberately left this open last year so that the trees could grow, get lots of light into them, and build up some strength ready for this year. So yeah, I'm going to start removing some of these internal pieces that will just basically be in the way when it comes to pulling this all together. So I'm going to carry on and just do that quickly. Okay, so I've cleaned up quite a bit of the shoots that are facing inward, and that will generally get in the way. And I'm going to attempt to close up this particular gap here before I do any more. So I have a piece of wire which I've built into a kind of a U shape, which hopefully I can pass through a gap here. Maybe not. Try that again. There is a very thin gap. I thought it would go through. Well, there we go. Okay, so now, if I can, I'm going to bring one end of it back through there, like so. Now, with the pliers, just pull those shoots down out of the way. I should be able to pull that together-ish. None of this needs to be exact because the trees will do some further growing, and eventually they will close the gap on their own. This is just to assist them to stay in place. But yes, the gap is going. Perfect. Okay, so that's closed up some of that gap. Take that off. Okay, now I need to deal with this gap here, so I'm going to use a longer piece of wire. can find the end. Now what I hope to do is snag all three of these particular trunks in one go. That was better. And then what I'd like to do is to pull this trunk back into line a little bit. That's my hope anyway. Not perfect, but better, at least. Okay. So, yeah, I mean, there's still gaps, and there's going to remain to be gaps for several more years to come yet. Again, if I can just pull that piece in, hopefully it'll grow out and fill in. There we are. Get the wire. I can then pull that back round a bit more, and this tree can go into that gap. Begin to fill that in. Perfect. Not perfect. You know what I mean, nothing's perfect. Okay, so now I want to move further up the trunk, because I could keep going, just add, you know, iron a bit here and a bit there, trying to persuade each piece to perfectly touch the next, and we'd be here all day. So what I want to do next is shorten some of these tall pieces, because as I said, if I just wind them all together like that, I'm not going to get any more taper. So I'm looking at it and trying to make a decision. I have a shoot at this point on this particular tree and one on there. I think I could leave that. So what I'm going to do is take out this taller piece here and this piece. Are you getting this? I'm not sure you are. There. So there's a piece gone. Obviously that's going to help when I bring all these in together, just to make it a little bit narrower at the top. I'm thinking I can do a similar thing with this. So I'm going to take this stand up. My arm isn't long enough. Okay, so I'm going to snip this piece here. And there. Okay, so that's going to allow far more. Okay, so I also want to take out some of this piece. I'm going to work my way down with this. Let me shut off the camera a moment. Okay, hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to shorten this one as well. Now hopefully this pruning back will also result in some further back budding down the trunk, and obviously the more growth I can get lower down will be a good thing in terms of actually getting the trunks to fuse. So I think that's going to help considerably. I should now be able to start pulling these pieces in together, which will give me some of the taper that I want. I think I want to lose this piece. That will help. Yeah, so let's see what we've got. Okay, well I'm going to keep fiddling, and I'll turn the camera off and we'll come back when I'm done. Okay, so here we have, I will pan up the tree. Yeah, we have taper. Let's just give the tree a bit of a tilt. I want to remove that piece, or at least most of the way back, so about there. Yeah, so the tree is leaning slightly to the back. So yeah, from the side, as you can see, it has a kind of a curve. So I'm going to have to adjust its position when it goes into the big pot in a minute. I might shorten a few of these pieces, but for the most part I've already moved quite a lot of wood, so yeah, it's going to go into that big pot, and hopefully put on a lot of growth over the next couple of years. So let's get it out of the pot here and have a look at the roots. If I can do it one-handed. No, not even close. Okay. Let's get it out of the pot. Okay, so here we go. It's out of the pot. I'm just going to basically work my way around the edges, and I'm not going to completely root prune this tree. I don't want to give it too much of a setback. The pot it's going to go into is a large pot, so that will dang. So basically just cutting off where the roots have been going round and round. Let me try and move the camera out a little bit more for you, and we'll continue working our way around. Yeah, the roots have started to work their way around at the bottom. So I'm just going to cut that away. Similarly here, where the roots have just gone round and round the pot. I don't want them to keep going round. I actually want them to go down and fill the large pot that this is going to go into. So this is just a sort of minimal root prune, just to encourage the roots to get going. Out and around rather than round and round. Okay, so realistically that's pretty much all I want to do to this tree. This is the back side of the tree. So let's see if I can lay the tree down. I want to break up the base here somewhat. Again, I want these roots to get moving. I don't want them to stagnate, so I'm just breaking them up a little bit, so that when they go into the new pot, into the soil below, they can get going. It may look a bit aggressive, but it'll help the tree in the long run with that. Bit of white grit. I thought for a horrible minute I had spotted a vine weevil. Okay, so that's really all I wanted to do with this tree in terms of breaking up the root mass. Okay, heavy old thing. This is going to weigh a ton once it's fused, once it's in the pot with the rest of its soil. Right, okay, so that's all I'm going to do. And let's move it to its new home. Okay, so its new home is all ready. I've part filled it with compost and added some feed. So now I will get the tree and we will put it in this pot. Okay, well, almost time for it to go into its new pot, but before I do, this being the back side, I just want to cut off a few of these long pieces of wire that will be harder to get at once it's in situ. Should have done this as I was going, but I didn't. More haste, less speed, as they say. Okay, so there, piece there, there. Now, I don't recall if I mentioned this before, but I've painted the fence behind this tree white. Well, most of the fence. I used up all the paint I had. Too stingy to go and get any more. So that will hopefully reflect some of the light back onto this tree, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Okay, let's try it for fit. It really is heavy. Well, that's not too bad. That's not too bad at all. Now, I do want to work it slightly. It has the very faintest lean to the right. I don't know how much you can see that. I'm not putting a tripod on a flat piece of ground, which doesn't help. But yeah, so I'm going to move it slightly to this side, and I'm just going to work it slightly. Okay, so that's better. Yeah, I'm liking that. Let me move the camera back a bit so you can see it a little bit better. Okay, so just need to fill in around and give it a water. Okay, so there you have it, in the pot, all watered in, and yeah, for those that are interested in numbers and things, it is I won't take measures, they will do what you ask them to do. It is 89 centimetres or 35 inches tall from the base of the trunk, and obviously throw in another 20 centimetres from the bench to the top of the pot, so a metre, pot and all. Well, that's it for this tree. Thank you all for watching, and take care of yourselves.